Hi, my beautiful Cancers. Welcome to your what we're calling your current love predictions for 2024. But I'm looking, let's say, in the next 3 months type of energy. I'm not looking like at the end of the year. So, anyways, this is going to be for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you are intuitively guided. Some of you here, you're looking to see what's going on with Cancer. So, understand that you'll also receive messages. I do read through my guides. So, the tarot is to me a tool to help ignite that and we're going to ask very specific questions. Normally, I just free will it, but I decided to do a format this time. Actually, I saw one of my daughter's readings and she did this format and I just fell in love with it. And so I asked her, "Do you mind if I borrow it?" And she said no. So, well, this is what we're going to do. So, the questions we're going to ask, we're going to get the overall energy first. Then we're going to ask what their feelings are for you currently, and then their current view of you. What actions are they currently taking or thinking of taking? And your current feelings towards them, and then the overall energy that's supporting this connection. So, what we're going to do is we're going to use Mother Mary, but we're going to use her at the end over the reading. And for the clarifiers, we're going to use a Psychic Tarot, a deck I love for you. But for the questions, we're going to use the Cozy Witch Tarot. So, everything's pre-shuffled, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a couple shuffles for you. And then we're going to get into it. So we'll pull a card for each one. And then at the end, we'll clarify each card. To try to give you as much information as possible. These aren't meant to be like real long readings. My typical reading is usually an hour, if not longer. Many of you know that. But many of you appreciate that too. So but I'm recovering from COVID, so I thought, well, this is the type of reading I could really get behind. Um, can't rest anymore. It's like I need to occupy my mind. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, Cancer. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the lid down and let's go ahead and get started. So first we're looking just at overall energy. We have the Queen of Cups. Queen Cups can be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, of course. But as an overall energy, when I think of the Queen of Cups, I think of someone who is loving, who is nurturing. I don't think she's anybody's fool, but I don't feel like, I feel like she tries very hard, he, not to shut down her heart. I feel like the Queen of Cups is someone who really can appreciate a relationship, having that special person. So, this is the overall energy. Let's see what the card says. When I bought these, I swear I didn't know there were words on the cards because normally I wouldn't have bought them. But since they're there, I feel like we should read them. Honoring your emotions is one of the highest forms of self care. Honoring your emotions is one of the highest forms of self care. Okay. So it's kind of fitting that your card would come up to begin with. So let's go ahead and get into the other questions. So their feelings for you currently. Slide this over a little bit. Dun 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 dun. We have the Eight of Cups, kind of an emotional energy. Interesting because it's also your card. But the Eight of Cups, to me, their feelings for you currently, I have a feeling that, because this feels, first of all, we have two water cards right off the bat. So a lot of emotions. So I do feel like emotionally, um, I feel like emotionally you affect them. Or another way of saying that is, emotionally, I feel like you live within their heart. Doesn't always mean someone acts upon that. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are afraid of love, afraid of commitments, what have you. But this is someone who I do feel like has looked within their emotional house and it really is trying to find that clarity. You know, it's like trying to put the past behind me. I love that it's a number 8, by the way, because we're in a universal 8. And it is the first, well, really the first card. So that makes me feel that, yeah, we're doing it for this year, definitely. Let's see what the card says. If you feel if you feel stale, explore some new scenery. That's what this person is doing. Ultimately, what they're doing is they're leaving the 8 of Cups. This means that, I was looking for emotional clarity. Chances are I found it. This is the willingness to put, some of those emotions that were not serving us behind us. And this person is heading towards the 9 of Cups. I mean, literally, she's walking out her door, like heading towards the 9 of Cups. And that is inner harmony. Some of you may have been dealing with someone who could have been in another relationship and probably wasn't satisfied. Those type of relationships, probably a free will relationship, not like a karmic or a soulmate. I don't feel that. I'm not saying that they didn't potentially have love for someone else, but it doesn't feel like it would be the same type of love. So some of you may be finding that, you know, and I feel like you would know this. It's one of the ways to figure out, like, is this reading for me or not? Well, I don't feel like this is really a surprise. It doesn't feel like a surprise. Maybe someone has been waiting for someone to take this action. I see the stars like I'm heading towards my star, my dream, what it is I want. And I'm thinking at this moment what they want is you because this is their feelings for you currently. It does tell me that chances are there was, some type of emotional baggage that needed to be dealt with. Maybe you each had to do it on your own. If this is something that's coming together, like how to do like I had to clear my own emotional house. I had to understand the cups that were knocked over. I don't need to know about every cup that was knocked over because some of them were just free will choices. You know what I mean? And I think of my own life and some of my own free will choices. Bad, bad, bad. um, so that feels good, and I love that it's starting with an 8. So I feel like it is definitely clarifying for us that it is, in this year, this universal year 8. All right, so their current view of you. We have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. What to say? Be ambitious. Chase every dream. Be ambitious. Chase every dream. Look at the books all around her. If this reminds me of like when my brother passed away, and I actually saw with my own 2 eyes 2 spirits come in and collect his body, and I saw his spirit leave his body, and it completely blew my mind. So much so that I ended up going to the local library and I just got book after book after book of, life after death and, the afterlife. So I feel like some of you, it's like the spiritual journey that you've been on. I feel like they think that you must be intelligent. Your communication skills, I feel like, are very good. And I do feel like they must think that you, when you speak, you know what you're speaking about. Be ambitious, chase every dream, their current view of you. So, in a way, I feel like they're proud of you. Because I do feel like for many of you, you have chased a dream, and ultimately, I feel like you found that dream, or you are now developing that dream. So it's interesting because I just get this feeling like, look, she's got a unicorn up on her wall there. Um, I feel like they appreciate you. They appreciate you as a soul. Now, I also have to say though, it doesn't always mean that people are telling us that, right? I'm proud of you for chasing a dream, and look at you, like look at you go, look at what you've done. I feel like this is something they feel within. And I do hope that they speak it, maybe with the Knight of Swords, because that does speak about communication. But I feel like, how did they view you? They view you as, I feel like a lot of respect. A lot of respect. All right, let's keep going. What actions are they currently taking or thinking of taking? Wow, with the chariot. And I'm saying wow because this has got to be the third time within this series where the chariot has come right in the same spot. Now, I love that this chariot is a bicycle, but it does mean movement. You'll never get anywhere if you keep standing still. That's what it says. And that makes sense with the Eight of Cups here, right? So I do feel like someone has taken the time to understand their emotions more, maybe get them in check, so to speak. And I do feel like, ultimately they may want to reach out and communicate. This tells me that also, I feel like that is probably, if this is going to come together, and I say if because I feel like they have to find the guts. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel you are, you may want love in your life and you may want them back in your life, but I don't feel like you're, you know, sitting in your bed just crying over them. Maybe you did. Interesting, we go from the seven and then we have the eight over here. So 2023 was a universal year seven. Now we're in 2024, universal year eight. You'll never get anywhere if you keep standing still. So they're heading right towards you. It's almost like they're heading right towards your home. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe though I do get this feeling that if they reconnect, or even if you want them to reconnect, but I do feel like it's going to come through communication first. Um, Interesting though. I feel like for a few of you, like you're out doing your thing, maybe you're out like at the grocery store or something, and you may run across them, and it may strike up a conversation. Um, I feel like if that happens, that was meant to happen. And I mean like spiritually, I feel like it was meant to happen, but I also feel, hmm, like I don't want to say that someone is like following you around. I don't feel that. I don't feel anything like I need to worry about. But it's almost like I know that she's going to be at the grocery store or the library or at school, that type of thing. Some of you may have known each other from, a much younger age. We're doing Cancer, and there is your major arcana, the Chariot. And by the way, you have shown in a few people's readings, so I wish I could tell you exactly who. I think, I feel like Aquarius, Pisces, and maybe Taurus, but I could be wrong with that, you know. But you have definitely shown in a few people's readings. So this is action, this is movement, and it is coming in towards you. So I like that. I'm going to accept that. All right, so let's see what your current feelings are towards them. We have Page of Swords. I have a feeling some of you, there could be a little bit of an age difference, not a big age difference, but a little bit, maybe like a year or two. It doesn't even have to be that. but I do feel for a few that may be the case. See what it says. Curiosity is a type of magic. Look what she's doing. She's getting a book. There's something about books. There's something about what you're learning. And I feel like I don't feel like this is about like me going to college and learning something. I feel like this is something that I chose to learn, and I feel like I'm learning it from my own home, like I'm reading about it, maybe I'm watching videos about it. I know many of you have spiritual type businesses, and maybe you're self-taught as I am, that type of energy. I feel like the curiosity is you. You know what I mean? Like I'm almost curious to hear what they have to say, what their plan is, what they're thinking. The chariot talks about the balance of the masculine and the feminine. Otherwise, the chariot really wouldn't go anywhere. It's like having a car and having a flat tire. So, first, the balance. And I feel like that's where the Eight of Cups is. That's where the balance is at. And it may be both of you. Maybe both of you have gone through this energy. But I feel like there is definitely something that piqued your interest and you followed that. And I just get this feeling like, I don't know why and how, but I feel like they feel like proud of you because you did chase a dream. You know, this could talk about a relationship that was, and you could have certainly had different goals in mind. And, the goals just didn't mesh at that time. But now, now that we're older and, you chase that dream, I don't feel like you're done. Like, I feel like you're just going to continue to learn and expand and learn. Um, excuse me. But I do feel like you are curious to see what they have to say. So I like that. I feel like you're keeping an open mind. I feel like for some of you, it's like you feel this before it even happens. It's like I kind of feel like I've been feeling like someone's going to reach out. And by the way, this doesn't have to be old love, though it does feel that way. It could just be, it could be someone that you knew in school. But nonetheless, I feel like they're proud of you. They're proud of you. All right, okay, let's keep going. What's the overall energy supporting this connection? We have, look at the pages. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. When life gives you lemons, make enchanted lemonade. Something about this connection feels very magical. Doesn't mean it was easy. Doesn't mean it is easy, but it does feel magical. I feel like I definitely feel some of you known each other for quite some time, and I feel like if they were to describe you to me, they would say she or he is someone who knows what they want. They know that, I feel like if I come into the picture and I'm speaking as them, if I come into the picture, then I feel like I know that I must be of a certain vibration. And I feel like that's why the emotional house was first, right? I had to find this emotional clarity, how to understand. Listen, I feel like in these 2 pages, this could certainly be the two of you from back in the day. It's like, and I feel like deep within them, they're like, did she just like forget about me? Like, is she not thinking about me? He, she, and I feel like, well, yeah, I think about you, but in the same breath, I have these dreams and I feel like you're not going to let anybody come in between them. I often feel, because I feel like these readings I'm doing, this series I'm doing, I feel like we're talking about either soulmate energy or twin flame energy. Um, so a lot of times I have found in my experiences reading tarot, just being in this business, that many times there is this time in between. And sometimes we look at that time as like wasted time. But I don't feel like on your side there's any wasted time. Again, I'm not saying that you didn't have to go through like, the emotional, I want to say withdrawal almost. Um, and I do feel like, if this person comes towards you, I do feel like you're saying you must be of a balanced energy. I feel like you have become so spiritual that I don't think anybody could come towards you with ill intentions and you not pick it up right away. I feel like you've been a go-getter from the day you've been born. You know what I mean? I just feel that. Like I feel security is important to you. Interesting though, I do feel like this energy of like I knew you when you were a kid, or we knew each other as children, or young adults, that type of energy. But that's what I feel like they would say about you. Like I feel they would say she or he is a very loving soul, but also a go-getter. Book smart, yes, but more than book smart, because I feel like your spirituality is leaps and bounds probably from when you first knew this person or met this person. You had a certain course you wanted to take or your soul wanted to take, and I feel like you honored that. Okay, now let's take each card. I'm going to put that up there and let's clarify them. So again, we're going to use the Psychic Tarot, a deck I love for you. Give it a shuffle or two. Let's give it two shuffles. Okay. And let's start with the first one. So their feelings for you currently. We have that Eight of Cups. Look at this. The Eight of Cups. Emotional withdrawal. Didn't I use that word also? I feel like I said that. Emotional withdrawal. Wow. Another eight. 88 may ring a bell with someone also. How interesting. It's like one is sitting at the water's edge. This person feels very humble. It's like they're allowing the water to heal them. And I feel like it does, or it will. But boy, does it feel like they're missing you. And maybe you're missing them. I don't feel any desperation on your part. Like, I just don't feel that. Doesn't mean that I don't have love for the person. It's just like I don't feel desperate. Though, I don't know, it kind of blows my mind. That we have two eights here and their current feelings for you. So they miss you. And I'm going to accept that. Okay. Let's look at their current view of you. And we have the Knight of Swords. Again, this is where I feel like, just look at the image. It's like I can't absorb enough knowledge. Like I want to know more and more and more. And it's just the way it should be. Curiosity. So, their current view of you. Ooh, the devil. They could be a Capricorn for sure. This is a card of Capricorn, but here it's called Temptations. I have a feeling, I get this feeling like like they themselves have been searching for this light. Maybe you've had like these spiritual discussions and maybe they really didn't understand it right. Um, just as myself, like, half my life was not spiritual, but the second part of my life, it's nothing but spiritual. So I feel like this is someone who they themselves are searching for that light. And I do feel like you're late. It's interesting, the temptation is like, I can't stay away from her. I can't stay away from him. I don't feel this in a negative way. Um, but listen, this may have been what they thought like in the beginning, or you may have thought that. So, and I also feel like they feel like you have found this balance between your light and dark. We all have that light and dark side. Don't forget with the chariot here, that's what it's about. It's balancing the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine. It's so we can live a balanced life. Interesting. It's like they're looking for the key. They're looking for the key to potentially win your heart back. I feel like they're going to find it. I also feel like this person may have been under some energy where they themselves have been influenced, like in a negative way. Um, there may be something they had to overcome. With the Eight of Cups opening up the reading, it could be drinking, like maybe I drank too much and it got in our way. I probably didn't know that then, or maybe I didn't want to quit drinking, or maybe I didn't want to change my ways, and I felt more them. Um, and I also feel like for some of you, it's like you had this realization probably a long time ago that if you were going to see your dreams succeed, you knew that things had to change. You knew that. But I feel like you have such a good understanding of the light and the dark. To me, the devil talks about illusions. The devil casts these illusions that can feel very real. And they may have been tempted, you know, elsewhere. And that may be why I felt that in Eight of Cups. It's like, I was in a relationship, but I feel like they're leaving if they haven't already left that relationship, jumping on the bike, heading towards you. Hmm. I feel like they wish they were more like you. This could be someone who is like carries the opposite energy of you. And what I mean by that is we all have an opposite sign. And I feel like, I don't know why I've been talking about this lately, but it keeps coming up where I feel like our opposite signs can certainly help us, see what it is that we may be lacking, or, it can help us gain strength in a certain area. But for some of you, it could just literally be a Capricorn, you know. You're like poor Capricorns are like, "Well, just why can't it just be me?" Maybe that's what they're saying. Why can't it just be me? So I feel like they feel you are a very balanced individual. And listen, when I say balanced, it doesn't mean boring because I feel like you're anything other than boring. You are a go-getter. They know that. They know you wanted to chase a dream. They know you had goals. And I feel like at the time, if this is a previous relationship, I don't feel like, who knows? Maybe you never would have reached the goals that you have today had you stayed together. I often feel soulmates break up and then come back together. And the reason why I feel that is because, I feel like our souls, and this is what I feel like you're on. You're like on a soul mission. And to me, that's just as important as love, right? Love is love. But if it's not balanced, then it's just pain. You know what I mean? Then it's just hurtful. Okay, I accept. Let's look at what actions they're currently thinking of taking. So again, we have Chariot. That's a good omen. It's your major arcana, and this is them. So they're falling under your major arcana. But let's see what actions. Oh, look at that, Cancer. Ace of Cups. Love begins. You know, it's like this Ace of Cups is in their knapsack and it's heading towards you. They love you. There's no doubt they love you. Now, I feel like this is, like love begins. Does it begin right away? Well, maybe in their mind, they hope. And first of all, I don't feel like the love really ever died. I'm sure it was like, like it wasn't the most prevalent thing in your life after this, after you went your separate ways. Again, whether you were together or friends, I feel like they know you. Um, and I feel like this is what they're hoping. I mean, come on. Love begins. Interesting. So, you know, I'm going to accept that. Look at the rainbow behind that ace. Two hands holding that cup. I feel like it takes both hands for this love to flow. And this is about flowing. This is love flowing, right? Maybe before when we saw the Devil, there was a lot of restrictions. But now it feels like flowing energy. And I think that's a really good thing. Okay, I'll definitely accept that. Your view, your current view of them. And again, I feel like you had that curiosity. So let's see. Hmm. Conflict and defeat. Well, that makes sense, right? It is number five, though. So five is about change. Can we overcome? I definitely feel like you can if two people are willing to put in the work. Love does take work. Um, and that's what we have to remember. Maybe they don't want to put in the work. So I definitely think there's like some things that came in between the two of you. Um, but again, maybe it's just as it was meant to be, your current view of them. So you're curious. And because it's a five, you may be willing. Like, I feel like this is not giving us a definite, like, if they came in and said, with this Ace of Cups and presents this ace to you, I don't necessarily feel like you're going to take it right away, but you are curious about it. So you're curious to what they have to say. What actions are you willing to take? What actions have you taken? Not about what you're willing to take, it's what have you done? What have you done for me lately? So five, change. It does, a five speaks about changing gracefully. At least that's what it hopes for. You know, um, but I don't feel like you've forgotten some of the things. Almost like someone was running away there. But listen, I feel like if they're running away, because this person feels broken. Where here, I feel like you don't feel broken. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have, that you're completely whole. But I do feel like you're curious to hear what is it you got to say. Okay. I accept. And then the overall connection supporting or the overall energy supporting this connection. Healing, healing. That's kind of beautiful. You know, I have felt your guardian angels in every single one of these readings I have done. And I'm feeling it because I feel like these guardian angels are speaking to each other. And I've said this in a few readings, and I'm not trying to repeat myself, just that I feel that energy. And no wonder, it's probably the same readings that had the chariot in the same position, by the way. So, can this be healed? Saying it can. The ball will always be put in your court. You don't have to say yes to anything. You can totally just walk away and be like, no way, Jose. But I feel like because both of you had the Eight of Cups, and I feel you feel very balanced. And now I feel they feel balanced. Now, if they come to you and they're completely like a wreck, then I don't know. Now, I shouldn't have said that because, I think of times when I was a complete wreck, and someone would still accept me. But they understood why I was a wreck. So, beautiful healing over this connection. This is what's supporting it. I'll take it. I accept it. All right. Let's go ahead and take Mother Mary over this reading. Let's get some words of wisdom. Whispering words of wisdom. Let it be. I feel also that a lot of you are using your voice, not just your voice, but your knowledge, and then your voice, probably in what you do. Some of you could have certainly attended the same college, same high school, grade school. All right, but let's see what Mother Mary has to say. Mother Mary's words of wisdom, Cancer. Hope. Hope. It's like the star card. There's hope. I trust that God has a wonderful solution and brilliant plans in store for me. Just like the star card. Keeping hope alive. Now, I have to say, when you watch tarot, the one thing I want you to do is just be careful because um, you should feel this energy. Like I feel it. You should feel it. Because I don't want you wasting your time, like hoping that someone comes back you know, that doesn't come back, for whatever the reason. Um, and I feel like, listen, I feel like intuitively, you already know this. You already know this, but Mother Mary's saying, keep the hope alive. Keep the hope alive. And then if you decide that you want to move forward, then I feel the potential. I feel is very good. They're looking at you in such and listen, they probably screwed up. Maybe you screwed up, but I kind of feels more in their end, because I feel like their screw ups is what actually got you moving into a certain direction. Again, I don't, you may have taken time out, if this was a previous relationship and allowed yourself to heal a little, you know what I mean? But then I feel like and I started chasing my dreams. And I do, and again, they feel that you're a go-getter. They feel that you're smart, but not just book smart. Emotionally, they have not let you go. Like emotionally, I feel like you've lived within their heart. Let's not forget the chariot, which is their current action or what they're thinking of the action, of what action to take, was the Ace of Cups. And then Mother Mary says, keep the hope alive. Don't be anybody's fool. But I feel like you already know that. And I kind of feel like you've come so far that, again, anyone coming towards you who, let's just say, is not on an equal vibration, you'll feel it, you'll know it, and I don't think you'll accept it. But I feel like if they are coming in and they're being real, doesn't mean perfect, right? Because I do feel like they've had their own things they've had to deal with. I feel like some of the choices that they made when they were younger led them to a darker place, where I feel like your choices have led you more to the light. But that doesn't mean that someone can't heal. We already know you can, because that's exactly what came over this connection. All right, I'm just going to accept that. I'm going to let it be. I'm going to thank you. Um, I would love your comments. Let me know what you think about this format. This isn't going to replace anything. This will just be an added series that we do. Maybe monthly, because it doesn't take too long, or at least that was the goal. Some of them, like, I thought, okay, we'll do 20-minute readings until I get my full energy back. And by the way, and when I'm feeling better and better every day, so um we'll start going live again very, very soon. So make sure you have your notifications on. Other than that, thank you. I love you. I feel like they love you. I feel like your curiosity is, it's almost going to be like a little impossible not to at least hear them out. But I feel proud of you for the choices that you've made. And I feel proud that you've chased, and I'm saying chase, but you went after that dream. Doesn't mean you've reached the ultimate dream, but at least you are heading that way. So keep the hope alive and keep the curiosity alive. It is about your inner child, and your inner, when you're living from your inner child, I feel like that's when you're happiest. And the inner child is, so much less restrictive than us as adults. So keep that in mind. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking. I love you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you like this format, so far I'd say it's about 80% who are giving positive comments. Wanting to continue with this format. But anyways, and I do want to give a shout out to a few of my members. I don't know why I didn't say it at the rest of the readings, but right now I'm thinking of some of you. So, all right, I'm going to let that be. I love you. Thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.